Hello everyone. Today I'm gonna show you how you can easily deploy your Next.js application in Netlify. Now this is my application and I'm running it in local server and localhost 3000. Now I want to deploy it in Netlify. Netlify may not give you that much of functionality what the Vercel giving you, but it's the next choice after the Vercel, and I will show you how you can do it effortlessly. First thing first, you need to have your own account in Netlify, and also you need to have an account in GitHub because we're gonna connect our Netlify account with the GitHub. So first we'll log in. If you're not logged in, it will ask login and it will give you via several options, and I prefer you to go with the sign in with the GitHub, not with any other platform, because then we can connect our existing project from the GitHub. So first let's create our existing application. So this is my application and this is the theme from the studio, the Tailwind theme. As you see, so this theme, there is a lot of things going on and a lot of pages is happening. So it's a very heavy application but very lightweight, so we're gonna deploy it there. So the first step, if you want to deploy your application, is to take your entire application setup in GitHub. To take that, you need to have also a GitHub account. If you have any Google or email, you can easily open your GitHub account, and from here you need to go to your repositories because we need to create a new repository. Let's create a new repository, and that repository, let's give the Netlify YT, as I'm doing it for the YouTube. Now either you can keep it public or private. If you keep it the private, nobody can see it except your except you are not giving the permission, and if it's public, anyone can view it. So I'll keep it public. Then I'm gonna create my repository. So my repository is created and there is a few setup readme file which no need to create, and you can actually go hand to hand with that guide. Okay, so we're gonna do the same. So first I'm gonna just open a terminal here so you can see it very simply. So now I'm gonna make it a bigger. First code, what is written here, if I make that git status, you're gonna see I am inside my root folder, so I need to go inside within that folder, and to do that I need to make that git init command. If you make that git status, now you can see all the files and folders are similar on that application. So now what I need to do is that git add dot, so it gonna add entire things. If you make git out add that the file name, so it will add individually the files. So you need to do it git add dot to add all the files within that directory. Now we need to run another one, which is that first thing, and this is the git commit m, and you can just make that initial commit. Now here is the one very interesting thing which I skipped. The first, you need to also have that .git ignore in your root file. Okay, and here you need to mention especially that node modules and that Next.js folder to, it will ignore that folder and it's not gonna push that to your GitHub. Otherwise it's gonna take a lot of time and it's a lot of heavy. So now what we need to do, either you can switch the branch or I will just keep the master branch. Let's see if it's working or not. So now I need to connect my application to that repo. Okay, now what I need to do, git push, and now instead of that main, because as I post that from the master, so I'll just put that master. So now what it's gonna do, it's gonna magically transfer all the files from my local machine to here in the GitHub, and it's gonna just, you see, it's already did the things. So if I just reload, okay, I'm gonna just close my terminal here. Okay, now as you see, every single thing is already here. Okay, my source folder, all the files is available. So now I need to go to my Netlify. Now here in the dashboard you can deploy manually. You see, you can drag and drop the file. Is very good for the HTML, CSS and JSS file. You can also do it for the next JS file. Just run that npm dev the build and other functionality and it's gonna work, but I'm not gonna go with that way because there is a simple and easy step for the Next.js application, for any React application actually. I will just go for that import an existing project, the first one. So now there is a lot of variable things that deploy with GitHub, GitLab, Gitbucket, Bitbucket, and also the Azure DevOps, and also is coming from the Git. So now I will go with that deploy with GitHub as I pushed my code in the GitHub. So now it's getting the authorization. Now I will search for that, and that is the Netlify YT, and it's gonna pick that repository for me because it will search it. And now here is my repo. If I click that, as you see, it's gonna go with, you can actually edit that one. Like if you have another team, you can add the team. If you have another branch, you can add the branch. Now I have a master, I will just go along with that. Now is the base directory, I will just keep it empty. I don't want to write anything because you see it will just go from that dot next. Okay, okay, I don't want to type anything here. Okay, it will just go with the dot next. Now I use that pnpm, so it will just go with the pnpm run build. If you use the npm or yarn, it will just go for the similar build functionality. Now I don't have any environment variables for that. I will just go to deploy Netlify, the project name. So now it's gonna deploy. So in the deployment feature, there is some of the things is very important. Let's go to see. Now here is building. So in the deployment, there is actually 5 phases is maintaining by Netlify. One is initializing. It's gonna initialize the application. What we are actually doing when we are running that npx create next app at latest. So that's the thing actually is doing. It's gonna fetch all the dependencies. You see, it just similarly just getting the dependencies for running that application in their platform. And after doing that, because it's gonna be finished very quickly, as you see, it's done initializing. Now this is the crucial part, building your application. After doing that pnpm run build command, it's gonna build and it's gonna take all the necessary steps. And here you need to be very careful because the error, 90% error is happening here, so you need to be very careful. So I think it's gonna be fine for this application. As you see, so far there is no error yet. Okay, everything looks fine. Okay, now it's indexing it. Okay, this is cool. I think, yeah, the building is completed. Now it's deploying. So as you see, it's very fast forward after the building. So now everything is done. If I just go through the preview section, you see we can actually preview our entire application and it will just work in a very similar way. It will be just fine. And now here's the thing, you see the entire URL is not looks so good because it's long and lengthy. So now what we can do, actually we can modify that one. So let's go to the site configuration, and in here you see the change site name. So we can change the site name from here, and we will just put that Netlify YT, and your name should be available. Okay, and I think Netlify YT is available. Okay, as you see now, if we click on that particular link, you see our application is just running, it's good to go. So you can see it's very simple, very easy to deploy your Next.js application in Netlify. So I think if you have any Next.js application, you can get the same functionality. So don't get panicked that either I can do it in Netlify or not. If your Next.js application is in the GitHub, you can simply do the functionality. Now, even if you have that login and authentication thing, you can add your same environment variable or other variable. You can also import that .env file directly here. Okay, then it's gonna extract the value from here. So it's very simple and very cool. So I think you can do it your application in that way, and I think hope it will help, and I hope it will help you. So we'll see you in the next video.